Good morning. Good morning, Professor Till.
Morning.
Morning, sir. So, I would like to ask you whether this would be your first time attending the Indo-Pacific Regional Dialogue.
Yes, indeed it is. I've not been to one of these before.
I hope it has been very eventful and more informative as compared to other conferences. So, what I want to ask you is, what are your key takeaways from these 3 days of Indo-Pacific Regional Dialogue?
3 takeaways. That's an interesting idea, question, because there's so many takeaways one could take away. One of them is certainly the importance of the island disputes, political warfare, notably between China and the US. That's one. Secondly, what we've just been discussing actually is the Indian government's policies and procedures as regards the shipping industry in the wider sense of the word. The third one, I suppose, would be the sheer size of the notion of maritime connectivity and how many issues are involved in it, and the necessity for the Indian government and indeed all other governments to actually try and think of these things in a holistic way.
Okay. So I can say that you want India to be more assertive when it comes to maritime domain awareness in these areas.
I'm not sure assertive is quite the right word, but what I would suggest is that it takes a more strategic view in terms of what it defines its interests are and how it's going to get there. So in other words, it's to create what sometimes is called an ocean policy, but also, very importantly, a way of implementing it. In other words, an ocean strategy. I don't think the Indian government does it as strongly as it might do, and probably needs to.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, sir. Good evening, sir. As we have our Director General, our Vice Admiral Pradeep Chauhan. So I would like to ask you a question regarding after having held so many Indo-Pacific Regional Dialogue, where do you see this dialogue heading towards actually for all the nations concerned?
Well, first of all, for India, it's heading towards being the maritime supplement of the Raisina Dialogue. Yesterday we heard the Finance Minister reiterate that, and I think that therefore we are making gaining traction. Insofar as the countries of the region are concerned, this is becoming one of the more important, if not the most important, dialogue in which voices from the entire Indo-Pacific, ranging from Africa, East Africa, all the way across to the United States, can actually articulate and voice their opinions, present their perspectives. And I think that this is the best way to move forward in a collective, collaborative, cooperative manner.
So I wanted to know how has been your experience so far attending IPRD?
It is my first time to attend the IPRD, and I'm really impressed with the comprehensive content of the 6 panels, professional panels. It's really covered all the aspects of the Indo-Pacific maritime borders, and it's really promote the idea of the dialogue, which is connectivities, and it has been elaborated a number of ideas. Many of them I haven't heard before, so really learn a lot. Really appreciate the opportunity to attend the dialogue. And for the organization, well, it's such a professional organization, and really love the team of the NMF. Not many of you, but you did a really wonderful job. Terrific. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much for that. And also, if there's key takeaways or any suggestions that you would like to give us, that if there's anything that we have to improve for the next IPRD.
If I may, there is only one suggestion that I would like to make, that perhaps reduce the time, because it's a bit long. Each day is a bit long, and 3 days really a very long dialogue. But that's only the issue that I may find. Other than that, because all the speakers are very excellent, the topic is wonderful, so you will feel bored or you feel long, but just because of physical tiring sometimes is, and also because some of the international participants may suffer the jet lag. So that is the only thing that I can recommend.
Thank you so much for your point well taken, and we will incorporate your suggestion. Thank you so much.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you so much for agreeing. So we just wanted to ask, like, is this your first time attending the IPRD conference 2023?
This is my first time attending the IPRD. It's been just fantastic.
Yeah. So you have just presented a very good, presentation, and you have attended one-day conference already. So what are your expectations? What are the key points that you can take away from this conference?
Really just the breadth of the intellectual firepower that is behind this conference, essentially thinking about maritime connectivity in the Indo-Pacific and all of the various facets and components of what about maritime connectivity, what's really undergirding that concept. So just the research questions that have been identified for all of the speakers, such as myself, it's just been top great.
Right. Thank you so much.
Hi, Dr. Pascal. Had your lunch?
I did.
You enjoyed it?
Very good. I've put on an embarrassing amount of weight during this session.
Don't worry. So this is the first time you're visiting IPRD?
It is.
Indo-Pacific Regional Dialogue?
It is.
All right. And how did you find it?
It was
How did
great.
go?
I've been... The selection of speakers is fascinating. So it's a geographic range, but it's also people who are doing really concrete on-the-ground stuff like shipbreaking, but also people who are doing the top-level geostrategic stuff. But to understand the geostrategic stuff, you really have to understand the ground. So the selection of speakers and topics has been exciting, very useful, and it's given me a lot to think about.
Okay, and if I may ask you, can you give us 5 key takeaways from the program? Anything good or bad? Anything you think needs a special attention or needs to be highlighted? Things of that kind. Anything would do.
So one thing is how important India is. India, not just geographically but strategically, it's been it's coming out of its shell in a very interesting way. This is building on what we saw at the G20, and the caliber of the people involved in creating this new vision for the 21st century is extremely high. So I would almost say that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. All of it is about what India is doing, what it's thinking, where it's heading, and the people who are doing it. Those elements are coming together, I think, potentially, if it can be protected from being undermined by competitors or even enemies, can really change for the 21st century. And the 5th is how much weight I put on while I was here.
So the last one is the best. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Pleasure.
We would expect you to visit IPRD and the NMF every time you come to India. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hello, Professor Jeff. How are you?
Good, I'm well.
I believe this is your second time attending IPRD conference. So how have your experience been so far?
Well, the biggest problem with this event is that it makes our events seem pale in comparison. Hospitality is off the charts. Speakers are amazing. Food is wonderful. Location can't be beat. So yeah, you mainly show us all up. So it's a little embarrassing for us, but other than that, it's a wonderful experience.
Thank you so much. So just in few lines, please tell to our viewers that what are the key takeaways from this event?
Key takeaways for me, maritime security is essential and it's still often overlooked in the region. The Indo-Pacific is the region that matters. And the only way for all of us to rise is for all of us to cooperate and coordinate. And how we do that is going to be complicated, but there's progress consistently being made, and we just need to make sure we don't lose track of that progress.
Great. So one last question. So where do you see this Indo-Pacific Regional Dialogue going forward?
I think essentially a lot of it is going to be rolling up the sleeves more and getting more into policy. This year's edition of talking about trade, talking about the commercial interests is absolutely essential. I think adding in the technological components, these are, I think, what's on the horizon because this is where the trend lines are going.
Thank you so much for your time. See you again.
So hello everyone. So we have Professor Renato De Castro. So sir, would this be your first time attending Indo-Pacific Regional Dialogue?
Yes, this is my first time, yeah.
And as a participant from our new circle, sir?
What exactly do you want to know?
Is this your first time attending Indo-Pacific Regional Dialogue?
No, I've been attending ever since it began. This is the...
Very nice to hear that, sir. Very nice to hear that. So, sir, regarding your presentation, I just saw that it was very pictorial, graphic, and you put out a...
Yeah, because that's how I teach my class.
That's very
teaching us
nice
the
to hear,
right
sir.
path, so.
That's very nice to hear, sir. So, how about you, sir? Did you like his presentation, sir?
Oh, I loved it.
That's good to hear, sir. Okay, sir. So I just want to know, like, how do you see this Indo-Pacific Regional Dialogue going? To which direction?
Well, it gives me a perspective regarding how India views itself as an emerging
power.
Indo-Pacific power.
Okay, sir.
So,
How about you, sir?
I think India is trying to position itself as a power, and hence they are trying very hard to get people all around to come in and
Cooperate together.
understand what we're doing.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I hope it goes well, sir.
Hi, sir. We just have a few questions for you. Thank you for attending the event.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. We just wanted to know, is this your first time attending IPRD?
It is my first time. And actually even my first time in India.
Wow. We hope you're enjoying it
I
here.
have enjoyed, and it's a great country, fantastic, great people.
Wonderful. What are your thoughts so far on the event?
The event is well organized, and it has that opportunity of giving us time to think about the Indo-Pacific region. It is a region with great potential. We need to make sure that it is secure for everybody. It is also the navigation and access is also available to everybody, because there is enough for all of us. Even we can be able to manage it well. So this is a great opportunity, bringing us all together to discuss about this great area of potential.
Wonderful, sir.
Thank you.
This is the third day of the event. What are your key takeaways so far?
My key takeaway is that we need to harness the blue economy resources within the region. We also need to make sure that the area is accessible to everybody, and it is also secure for everybody.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
It is my pleasure.
Okay. Hello, sir. So, as I recall, sir, this would be your first time attending the Indo-Pacific Regional Dialogue, sir?
Yes, exactly. So this is the first time for me to attend the IPRD, and it's an honor to be here.
Okay, sir. Good to hear that, sir. So, how has your experience been thus far as we have reached the second day of the Indo-Pacific Regional Dialogue Conference?
I would say it's terrific, and it's an extraordinarily brilliant conference. It has a lot of experts from all over the world. It's very diversified and well experienced and well educated people. And actually their presentation are very enlightening. And what I have learned from their presentation was we could adjust our threat perception regarding China, Russia, among other like-minded nations,
yes.
People. So that's a definitely great thing for all of us. And from that point, we can consider what kind of cooperation we can proceed more.
Yes, sir. So my last question would be, sir, as I have seen your first presentation, that was the presentation of the event itself, I would like to ask you what points would you like to share with our viewers in the future?
I think the most important thing I'd like to inform to everyone is that maritime security, maritime domain is definitely critical issues for all over the world. As currently we have seen the critical emerging technologies and new domains,
yes.
But I think maritime domains is always a critical issue for all of us, even though we have had new issues, new domain issues.
Yes, sir.
So that's why we have to keep up learning the maritime affairs, maritime domain, maritime security issues.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Hello, Dr. Pramod Jaiswal. So this is the first time you are visiting the IPRD?
Yes, this is the first time I'm attending IPRD. I was invited last time, but I could not attend it, so I'm really...
And are you liking it?
Yeah, I'm loving it.
And what do you think are the 5 key takeaways, 5 most important points that you think needs attention to be highlighted?
One, that we have done, we are creating awareness about Indo-Pacific, number 1. Number 2, along with awareness, we are also creating the network of scholars, policymakers, experts, and the security persons who have experienced it. So that is second. And a third, which is most important, is we are bridging the gap between academicians and policymakers, which we can implement in creating a strategy.
Thank you so much, sir. We would expect you to come to India every year. Thank you.
Hi, Jess. How are you? Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Is this your first time attending IPRD conference?
This is my first IPRD.
How has your experience been thus far?
It has been incredible to hear so many different experts speak across the Indo-Pacific. It's truly helped as a PhD candidate to gain stronger insight on the Indo-Pacific perspective.
Right. So just in few lines, can you please tell our viewers what are the key takeaways for you from this event?
Sure. So as somebody who studies U.S.-India defense cooperation, I gained a lot of insight in hearing Indian naval perspectives, Indian bureaucrats speak on the importance of regional allies and partners. And so for me, that was the strongest takeaway, and to gain better insight on Indian strategy towards the region. So overall, incredible.
Great. So it was a fruitful event for you.
Absolutely.
Is there anything that you want NMF to improve? Is there any feedback you would like to give?
I think overall, having 3 days, it was a very strong conference. There's nothing I can actually think of so far in terms of ways I would recommend. I think I look forward to hearing next year's theme as well, and kind of broadening beyond just maritime shipping would be great for next year.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No
and
problem.
hope to see you next year as well.
Thank you.